but also didn't really make any ridiculously flashy plays. And Vici are going to say, all right, look, we're done with this clockwork. I was looking at the numbers. Red Panda did an absolutely ridiculous amount of damage in the previous game. I think part of it was that he had a vessel and he was against some really tanky heroes, but still, they're going to force something a little different, and Sparking Arrow are going to start with the Vengeful Spirit.
It seems like a nice way to start anyway. Like this Pos 5 Venge has been very, very popular as of late, and it opens up very niche kind of drafts as well that you can run, and, well, I can't blame them.
It gives you the Deucer draft a little bit, which is cool.
I mean, it's not banned as well, so they could definitely go down the round if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Vici, how will they start their opening duo, though?
So the DK is still there. I think they could easily go for that again. I don't really think they had too many drafting problems in the previous game. So I think, like a DK Tusk could be just fine. There might be some conversation happening about, okay, we felt really pressured in the last game to, I think maybe part of the reason that they go high ground there when they really shouldn't is because they might be feeling that if it goes late enough that they're going to be in big trouble, and they're constantly getting split pushed by the Puck and the Nature's Prophet. So maybe they felt like they were losing their grip on the game a little bit, and maybe this time around they'll try and have something that they feel more confident like going into the late game with, so that they're not going to be under that same level of pressure. But only time will tell as the draft continues to play out. But just starting it off with a Rubik, so not as strong in the lane, but maybe more scaling and playmaking a little bit later on.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, PYW, who was playing that Tusk last game, has really been on point throughout the whole league. I'd say he's been very consistently playing very, very well. And well, they'll go for the Pangolier, which I assume must be the offlane Pango this game, and there it is. There it is.
No messing around. Terrorblade is straight out. They don't have the last pick this time around, and Terrorblade is not Luna, so I don't think we're going to be seeing TB role swapping anywhere this game. So, maybe SAG, they're just saying, look, this is what we want to play. This is what we feel like our best carry is. Let's just go for it.
I would dare say that is probably true as well. It does seem like their best carry right now. This is kind of what he got famous for as well, God King. Just these TB picks that he loves running. And of course, Vici Gaming, we did see the ban of the PL coming out from Sparking Arrows, so Vici going to have a bit of a think about their own ban now. It's a bit of a scary situation they've got themselves into, but they'll get rid of the Doom, which is also fair enough, because DD has been a real pain on that mid-Doom.
Yeah, but it's also kind of crazy that just in the course of, it's just been today that they've been busting out this mid-Doom, and already it's getting to the point where Vici are like, oh man, maybe we need to just ban this. Haven't felt very confident in the way that these drafts have gone. And I guess even the last game, the Doom got pretty shut down. In the earlier series versus RNG, he was number one on net worth pretty consistently the whole game long. And then this game, in the previous game, he was kind of bang in the middle of the net worth the whole time. But the Doom still ended up being really impactful. He was even just dooming straight on top of the Lotus Orb without caring at all. Just knowing that he was, deleting a more important hero than himself from the team fight. Just a Grimstroke for Vici as we're flying through this draft.
Oh, Zeus coming out.
That's their Terrorblade answer, I suppose.
Okay.
So the thing is I think this kind of works. The burst damage and clearing the illusions is super useful, but TB can itemize against it a bit.
Well, hold on a minute, though. You've got Zeus into TA now, which is...
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard matchup for the Zeus, right? It's not very fun.
Well, I feel like they... I don't even know if they necessarily baited them, because the Ember came out, and then maybe they thought, oh, okay, maybe we're a bit safer to pick the Zeus. Though Ember also kind of gets up in Zeus's face and gives him a hard time.
Yeah.
But the TA matchup is especially unplayable, so... I am not sure what they do now.
Hard. I mean, we're looking for a Eurus hero now.
They still need building damage. There's still a lot of things missing from their draft.
Do you feel like this is a bit of a panic draft right now? Because it does kind of come across that way with from that last game. It's just they may not know what to do up against this drafting style of sparking, and now the
Why did they
Abaddon's
ban Profit? What is happening here? All right, so Slark comes out, but
okay.
just
It's
just a mad dash to the end here with these last couple of picks.
it's the grand final. This could potentially be the last game for the Chinese region for the Beyond
Yeah.
Epic League. I think we could both agree. I don't think I have any doubts in saying that we are probably both leaning towards that SAG draft this time around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like SAG's drafts for sure. This Slark is a good final pick for sure. I think it's good against a lot of what SAG have going on. I also have, I have my doubts a little bit about this position for Ember, at least in the lane. Once he gets out of the lane, sure, maybe he can start running at the supports a little bit. But Vici, the side lanes look good at the very least, but the mid lane is a really big concern with this TA just being able to kind of walk all over the Zeus.
It's a tough one.
So,
Like you're kind of going to be dependent on Ori as well this game. I don't think Ori has much room to not win or at least even out in mid.
yeah, and well, the other thing is that I feel as though Terrorblade can kind of go this less illusion build, like a less illusion focused build, where you get like the SNY and a BKB instead of trying to build like Manta and whatever else, and that kind of lets you play against the Zeus a little better. So I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, game has begun. We are going to have a quick pause out from the side of Vici Gaming. Looks like DY might still be experiencing some lagging issues here. See how it all pans out. Like, if Ori doesn't have that mid matchup that he really needs to again even out or win, and if Eurus has a bad lane, this game could be over real quick.
Oh, I don't think Eurus. I don't think Eurus is gonna have a bad lane. He's a Slark against double melee, like Abaddon Ember. I don't see how SAG win this bottom lane. Oh, actually, wait. So it's never mind. It's Red Panda on the. Again, I keep getting caught out by these like weird, slightly weird role allocations. But yeah, so it's actually Venge 3.
What is
and,
happening?
Abaddon 5.
Okay, so Venge 3 now.
Yeah.
I got confused. I didn't notice that either. So it wasn't just you.
It wasn't paying enough attention.
Oh goodness me. Okay,
All
so Venge 3. Fair enough.
Yeah, so this is just because they don't want to run the Abaddon into the Slark. I think is the main thing, and they want a hero that's able to put a little bit more pressure on the Slark in the lane. It does mean that they've got a TB Abaddon dual lane in the safe lane, but we've seen them get away with these double melee safe lanes quite a lot. Though the Pango Rubik should be able to put some hurt on them for sure. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, I think the side lanes. So I think top lane should be a win for Vici. Mid lane should be a win for SAG, and then bottom lane. Before the lane swap, I would have said guaranteed win for Vici. We'll see if it's all that different with the Vengeful Spirit down here.
It could be a bit more of a toss-up.
This lane a lot. Yeah.
Be worried about this this TA pick though. DD, we'll see what he can get done on this. So Ori's gonna have to try and apply as much pressure as possible prior to that refraction being available. Once it's up, it's kind of like you can't do anything.
He's just standing in the wave, hitting him, and getting some bolts in early on here while he still can. He's been getting some pretty good denies, and DD's actually got to be careful here.
Does. Ori throws out another. May try to man fight. DD doesn't care though. He's got a Fairy Fire up. Now the refraction's up as well. Ori will salve up. And DD, I believe, has some more regen coming out on his courier, and he does have a salve coming out, so he should be alright as well. When Ori can't really do much anyway, that large kind of creep wave running at him. Have to try and secure that up.
Yeah, DD was trying to bait him into tanking some extra damage there by just hanging close with the salve running.
So we'll have a quick look at the other lanes as well. Top lane, there will be Yang and PYW. They'll be up against Red Panda and God King. PYW even being dived right now by this this Abaddon, but doesn't have the Curse of Avernus up yet, so can't do too much on this POS 5. Just trying to get some harassment out. He does force out the salve usage there from PYW, and pretty much as per usual, God King is having a decent start on Terrorblade.
I love the way that Red Panda plays his position 5s. he just doesn't care. He buys regen and he just runs in, and that's how he makes space for his carry.
You could never do that in a pub. Like, they'd be like, "What are you doing? Why do you keep dying?"
Oh, he's gonna get. Is he gonna get this courier? Oh, all right.
Yes.
He realizes now. Nice.
Get it.
All right.
They get his courier back though, so both couriers being lost here for both supports, and PYW got what he wanted off the courier anyway.
Heads up, Zeus still has 2 CS at mid.
Oof.
I think he got both of those in the first wave. All right, he's got 3 now, but yeah.
That's rough. But you couldn't really expect too much more, right? Like, it's a TA. Like, how are you gonna beat this lane?
Yeah, you're not gonna get last. It's rough.
Bot lane, the last lane we haven't spoken about quite yet. OP God is there on that POS 3 Vengeful Spirit, up against Eurus on the Slark. Of course, DY is there as well on the Grimstroke, and you'll also have the position 4 Ember Spirit being played by Felix. And as it stands right now, Eurus is having a decent enough time on that Slark, but OP God's having an okay time as well. When we just look at that CS board, it's not looking too bad.
It seems like there's been a lot of shenanigans down here. Like, there was a triple range creep just a second ago. The waves are pushing everywhere. I saw Felix dragging waves and just kind of spoon feeding OP God level 3. So yeah, it's been a weird one. We're just making a bit of a go now, though.
Yeah, Inkswell going to be there. Magic Missile, but it was purged off by the Dark Pact, and OP still in trouble. Eurus really wants his kill, and DY will be the one to take the first blood on the Grimstroke. You'd hate to be this Venge right now, considering how many creeps are underneath this tier 1 tower. Looks like Felix will take care of it.
Yeah, he's just trying to CS with his illusion. Yeah, not super happy with that, the way that played out. Tiny bit of pressure onto Eurus, but he's going to be just fine.
And he will. That'll be a 1-0 again. So Vici Gaming getting the small advantage early on in terms of kills. Top lane though, Yang is being chased down once again by Red Panda. You still don't have that curse up. He's just applying pressure with that Aphotic Shield at level 2. And there's not really much they can do about it. Like, they can get through the shield just fine. But it's the damage they're taking in response. And Red, he's about to fall, but no. God King, he'll block the way. And it looks like there is going to be Red Panda just running his way back to Fountain. But PYW, can he make it to get those 2 hits he needs? Not quite.
It's actually only, even with boots, it's only a 10 move speed differential, so wasn't really able to do too much, unfortunately.
I look back at that mid lane, and DD's
it's looking a little better, but
yeah, he's only doubling the Zeus' CS now, which is actually a positive. So I believe he's had to just spam Chain Lightning to secure CS in this lane now. Which is fair enough, because that's the only play you can make. They are going to bring DY here as well on that Grimstroke, but it was spotted out by Felix on the Ember. So I doubt DY will be able to close the gap and get an Inkswell off, but now Felix might try to turn around onto the Grimstroke for a bit, but no, he'll run to the mid lane instead. If you could get that Chains off, you might have enough burst damage there from the TA, even underneath that tier 1 tower, to get Ori down. Trap. Felix gonna run in. Ori, he's in big trouble right now. They have another trap there, and Ori is definitely dead. Nobody even bothering to rotate in to help.
Yeah, this lane's not gonna be fun. They even have a sentry ward here, and I think Ori's been able to see this observer on the other side this entire time. Absolutely zero that he can do about it. So, just does go to show you kind of the nature of this lane. Again
as well, PYW showing mid. They're just going to dive him. You want to farm this lane? I don't think so. Now the rotation's coming for PYW's sake, but DD, he has a Haze Rune. So he forces the rotations and just gets out of there.
feels a little similar to our earlier series where there's just these constant TPs trying to salvage the mid lane, but it's not even really working. And God King is just getting completely protected by Red Panda at top, who just keeps spamming regen, keeps spamming the other guy out of the lane. 48 CS on this Terrorblade, and Yang getting some decent levels, but I really thought that they were going to be able to pressure more in this lane. And now he's done laning. He's just going to start hitting up the jungle and farming from there.
That's what every single time. Without a doubt, he'll do it, though. Eurus mid lane, going to TP in after DD. They do have the pounce available. They use the Dark Pack first. A Phonic Shield will help DD get out of there, and Red Panda will tank the gank. So Eurus trying to pounce forward to see if he can catch the TA on the tail end of her running behind that T1, but he couldn't. There was a lot of heroes there for that Abaddon kill, but they do get something.
So the only problem is now that Eurus just walking all the way bottom. They didn't have a lane swap that they could really go for. So I think his way down here, just looking to get active. Seems like, but not really. It would have been good if they gotten the TA, but I think Eurus is actually not overall that happy with leaving his lane to just go and get the Abaddon kill.
I can't blame him. Well, DD, he'll just keep farming up on that TA, top of the net worth board, and it's to be expected. Bot is where the power rune will be, and it will be a double damage. PYW just denying it off, but that probably means he won't die. He'll just go for the quick TP play, and does make it out, but now Ori comes back in, and DD, just underneath the tier 1 tower, wants to play the harass game with him. This mid lane it's where all the action is. Nothing else is happening in the side lanes.
Yeah, lots of support attention being paid to the mid lane. That is the one good thing for Vici, is that they do have really good deep push on their supports. So, they can hold these objectives for a little while longer. But SAG are just getting so much more out of the map because they've got heroes in all 3 lanes and they've got the Terrorblade currently jungling. So, and the TA is even able to spam out mid and go and farm a couple of camps in the interim as well. So if this keeps up, they're just going to keep on nickel and diming their way to a lead. Eurus keeps trying to rotate out of the safe lane to make some kind of a play, but doesn't really seem all that possible. And the OP's even stacking up Ancients currently for the Templar Assassin.
That's a concern. And here he comes, DD. Nice little triple stack. You got a bit unlucky with the Ancients that were spawned, but I guess it's a TA after all. He just bursts them down so quick anyway. Tier 1 items, surely? No? Okay. Are they full of tier 1 items? Is that why they're not dropping?
Yeah, they've already got all of them.
Okay, alright. Inkswell going to be there with the pounce now. This could be a great kill out from Eurus, and they do get it. Thunder God's Wrath to finish it off, and now they'll also get the position for Ember. I love the rotation coming out from Vici Gaming.
Very nice. You can't let SAG get away with this. You can't let them have heroes, farming all 3 lanes and then also be taking a ton out of the jungle at the same time. And Eurus is looking to keep this aggressive pace going. He's just got a straight Shadowblade queued up currently, so really wants to just keep doing this for his team. He does have to cover a decent amount of the initiation this game because they've only got a Pango and a Zeus as the other 2 cores. Ori is going for a Necro Book on the Zeus. So I guess that's the kind of the catch-up farm item for him.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do? You're so far behind right now as that mid Zeus. You're literally 2k behind the TA. So seems like there's no real other play here for Ori if he wants to remain relevant as the Zeus in this game. There is still that big problem of this TB though. God King, he's got the Yasha coming out very, very soon, and they are going to go on to Yang now. Rolling Thunder will make it in time, however, and they'll just ignore Yang as he turns
DD
back
ganked
around.
Again.
He is being ganked again. It's a problem. The TA falling low. She'll try to fight back. DD gets a refraction. No, it won't be enough. And now this position for Ember as well. Trying to remnant out of there. Does he make it? He does. But they got the main kill.
Definitely got what they were looking for. Of course, have to keep in mind that the Terrorblade is still farming this entire time, but in theory, Vici's draft is very good against TV. All of their cores The Pango's got good AoE damage. He's got a disarm. They've got the AoE damage from the Zeus. The Slark is not easy to sunder, so he can always kind of go on you and pop the Shadow Dance and keep hitting away. So this game looking like it might just be the true test of God King's Terrorblade.
Sure, I'd say so. Yasha on the way, and he's actually going for a Dragonlance up next, which is very, very different to his usual style build of Sergeant Yasha into Satanic, into Heaven's Halberd. He switching up completely now, wanting that added range up against the side of Vici Gaming.
I do think with this, the one thing that the Pango needs to be afraid of is that he just gets beat to death in the Rolling Thunder. Like, you think about the TB's damage output, plus he's got all the bonus range from Dragonlance, plus he's got all the bonus range from Venge.
Bot lane, DY. Definitely going to be dead here. There's no way out of this situation, and they'll claim an easy kill, and now the tier 1 bot tower as well will also be taken out by Felix. Of course, Eurus is trying to split push the top lane, but they don't really have the push potential right now from that top tier 1 tower, so they'll just let the creep wave do it. Eventually, Eurus will come back and start chipping away here. It's that point now where SAG, they'll take over that Radiant side jungle and just farm up their neutrals instead.
Yep, and if they can maintain control over both ancient camps, it's going to be a pretty big deal. Just kind of establish a perimeter around there, give away the top side of the map. They don't really care that much. DD is going for the Blink Dagger first here, so feeling the constant pressure of the Slark rotations and everything else. I think it's mostly about having the escape, really. I don't know if it's so much about trying to get aggressive right away, but wants to just be more confident.
It's either that or the Deso first, right? So you just go for the safer option. And
yeah, this is slightly slower, I think, than going for the Deso first, but this is going to let him like shove waves and do stuff that he otherwise wouldn't be able to. And you also have to remember that there's overlapping priority here, that the Terrorblade and the TA both want the Ancients, but in this case, I think they're going to be giving it to the Terrorblade for the most part. So that does mean that DD has to play the lanes a little more. And because of that, I think that's the other reason that he goes for the Blink in this situation.
Yeah, it makes enough sense. Eurus now has that Shadow Blade up. Wants to start getting very aggressive. He's already got 4 permanent Agi stacks on that Slark. Love to make Felix his 5th, but there'll be a Remnant out from Felix. He's ready for it. Pounce in. Remnant's in from PYW with the lift, and that's just a great play out from Vici.
Oh, that was beautifully executed. That was literally the last second of the Shadow Blade that he went for that.
Mid lane, Yang playing around here with this Abaddon. Rolling Thunder going to be there. The rest of the team coming in to back him up. DD already blinking out. Eurus, though, is creeping up from behind, and, well, he'll just take his permanent Agi. That's all he wants. Maybe even the kill. Eurus now a 3-0-4 on the Slark. He's looking good.
Yeah, he's doing really well. And just going to keep making these exact same plays. And God King actually even getting, feeling like the pace of the game is getting away from his team a little bit. He's just going for the BKB, and he's running over for this rune.
Uh-oh. Eurus is there. Shadowblade, of course he doesn't know yet, but he feels something, and now it will all be revealed. And Eurus won't actually go for the pounce. Guess it was just too close to that tier 1 tower, and in all fairness, OP God was on his way.
Yeah, it's a little treacherous. Alright, so Ori's got this Necrobook. That's farming for him. He is also just going to be rushing the Eggs after that, so give the Slark a little bit more ganking power. He goes and scouts somebody on the map. You just pop down the Nimbus and go from there.
Bounty being placed there onto DD. So Vici Gaming feeling confident right now. We do see Ori actually dying to DD up at the top lane, and now Yang being swapped in. He swashbuckles away, but he might just be dead here to the Terrorblade. In fact, he is. The Miscoil will come out from Red Panda. And Ori just solo dying there to that TA up at that top lane. It's not great news, but now Eurus going to go into OP God, but God King is still around the corner. He cannot commit all the way, and looks like Red Panda might be having a few issues here. He'll pause, and I must admit, Basskip, there is a bit of lag in Dota right now, for sure. Been feeling it this whole
Yeah, I
time.
was having a little, I was having a couple of spikes in some of the previous games. It's been okay here. Um, so what's going on? So the Zeus getting caught out being a little greedy, I guess. They were trying to split the map a whole lot while also pushing mid simultaneously, and Ori probably feeling like he can't really contribute a whole lot right now. Really just needs to AFK farm until he picks up the Aghanims. And he's always ready to contribute the Thunder God's Wrath, of course, but that is about it for the time being. And God King, that last little fight has actually maybe, it's assuaged some of his fears a little bit about the way that the game was going, and he does queue up the SNY again. So feeling confident that okay, I don't need the BKB just yet.
Yeah. I mean, all fairness, they are slowly taking over that net worth. Like, Ori is still just a non-factor in this Zeus. I guess once the Ags is up, he'll definitely be a bit more impactful on the Zeus, but for now it is all on the back of Eurus. Eurus trying to go for the SNY himself on that Slark to be able to really just fight back throughout this early to mid game. See how it all pans out, they'll get back to it. Of course, SAG, they're only interested in letting God King farm. That is exactly what he'll keep doing. I mean, Vici Gaming are probably the ones that have more pressure to keep applying pressure onto SAG, even at this stage.
Yeah, especially with the item build on the Slark. He can't afford to play passive. The one thing that we haven't talked about this game is the combination of the Slark and the Zeus for the Vision game from Vici. So if they start to really establish control over the map, it's going to feel very claustrophobic for SAG. They just won't know where is safe to play. The Slark is constantly going to be pressuring them. So that is something to keep in mind if you're ever wondering, like, oh, why are SAG not pushing this wave out maybe as far as you would think? That's just because they're not likely to have a ton of vision to play around with this game.
Smoke up. It was scanned out though, a nice scan out from SAG, but Red Panda kind of playing with them a little bit, seeing if they want to just go after him instead of anyone else. Eurus gonna just skip that, go towards that dire triangle, but thinks better of that as well, and I think it's kind of obvious to them now that the smoke was
they're looking
revealed.
for the Zeus.
Ori, he's been caught out again in that triangle. SAG, they knew the smoke was happening. They take advantage.
Oh, that was so nice with the immediate TPs. They're like, all right, they're definitely going to respond. They're going to try and punish us for killing the Zeus. Let's just get the heck out of here.
It just puts you one step closer as well to that Desolator now, although mid lane, they do make the jump on Red Panda eventually. Borrowed time was there. Now Eurus has to be a bit careful. The reflection out from God King. Nice swap out on Yang, but he's still just trying to roll away. OP Guard can't reach for another swap. Now the Soulbind just to make sure they can't follow up with that chase. Although there is a DD rune for DD on that TA. He'll pick that up and bottle it up. And it looks like they just want to keep going. They blink in DD. He pops that DD rune. Now PYW going to be in trouble. It's an absolute massacre in the mid lane. They are all falling so darn low. But Eurus, he might be able to clean up. He gets two. And he'll go for more now with Yang after Felix on that Ember. God, he'll keep running. Looks like he should be okay. I don't believe they'll be able to catch up, but Eurus, he might still try for Felix. No, he's going to sneak around, go after God King on that TB. Decides better of it.
So I think all of TA's refraction charges just got cleaned up like instantly, and then got obliterated by the Zeus after that. I thought it was a good chase. Obviously SAG did as well. They were thinking, look, we didn't lose anybody to the Rolling Thunder. The Pango is really weak at the moment. And they all just got annihilated with that dive.
I mean, you might want to wait to that point where I guess you have the BKB on TA if you want to make those really deep dives. Just to really ensure that Ori can't burst you down like that.
Yeah, even when Zeus is not having a particularly good game, his damage potential is still pretty insane. Just by virtue of having levels, so you do have to show a little bit of respect there. Though, I totally understand that dive there, but they do just kind of get punished for it. And the double damage on top of everything else as well. You're like, oh man, surely this is a good idea, but...
Seemed like it. God King switched item builds again, going now for the Hurricane Pike, and okay. Guess it's decent up against that that Slar. There's that Deso now for DD as well. I'm sure he'll just queue up a BKB.
I think the Pike's going to be really useful with the... Like, Slark's going to try and pounce, and then they're going to try and follow it up with an Inkswell.
Oh, DY gets blown up, but DD, he could be in trouble now. It's a lot of damage up from Eurus, and now the Thunder God's Wrath again will come in, but the chains are out from Felix. There will be no follow-up to it, however. And that is another great trade out for Eurus.
Yeah, DY's just fine with that happening. I don't think he's really all that concerned. And the game's still very even by the numbers. God King's just queuing up the Scotty next. But they do have the Aghanim Scepter completed now on the Zeus, I believe.
They do.
The Slark can just keep terrorizing them.
Yeah, it's the way to play it, right? You just scout him out with Shadow Blade, pounce, and then Nimbus comes in. So no way out of that situation unless you have your team there to help you. See what Eurus does with it. Mid lane, they may have an opportunity very soon to try and make use of that first Nimbus. It looks like the side of SAG, they try to make a small push, but eventually we'll just back out of there. It's Vici Gaming's time to play this, for sure.
So they've just seen DD bottom. They know that he TP'd down here, but... And yeah, they're going for a smoke to try and head in that direction, but he seems to know that something's wrong. Maybe they scouted something with this OBS, and so he's just going to back up all the way to the fountain and even connect all the way through his own base to get back to his team. So he read that play exactly.
Very nice, and they'll counter smoke now. It's dangerous timing again. You are going into that Ags. God King maybe baiting in that mid lane a little bit, but eventually will back off towards his team. And no, they're going for the Roshan play. With that Desolator up, they could take it real darn quick.
Oh, but there's a Rubik trap. Is that? I don't think they can stop it though. It's just way too fast.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Okay, it's gone.
Oh, it was a nice play from PYW, but
there it is. There's that river change up now. We're in the Slime River. It's God King. Gonna go after that T1 tower. With that Aegis being stolen away from Vici, that's gonna hurt a little bit. You feel like you're in control of the game, especially with that Nimbus up, and you just couldn't do anything about that. It was just way too quick.
Yeah. Yeah, Roshan for them, even if they'd wanted to take it away, would have taken far, far longer. Sure, they could have. You know, they have the Vlads on the Pango, so I think they could have sustained, but they definitely needed to get a kill or two first, and SAG just making great use of the fact that they knew that, you know, a gank was looking for the TA on the bottom side of the map, and there's no way that you expect a core player to TP to this lane, push one wave, and then run all the way back to his base and smoke with his team. It's just like, it's kind of incomprehensible if you're Vici. But it's the play that they needed to make. And they thought that TA was trapped on the bottom side of the map, so there's no way that they're thinking about Roshan at that point in time.
Now SAG just doing what they do best. Back to the farming game for them. God King getting closer and closer to finishing off that Eye of Skadi. You kind of mentioned it before, but Vici Gaming, they don't really have time to relax, so they'll smoke up again. They've got to find kills. Eurus down to the bot lane, trying to scout out for his team. SAG, they stick as a team now, understanding what could be coming, and never mind that Eye of Skadi, God King now has a Manta style up.
Oh, okay, he's disassembled the... Alright.
So SNY is gone now, he'll have the Manta instead, and he can buy the full Heaven's Halberd right now if he wants. He just needs to get to the secret shop.
Alright. This does, you know, it's definitely a nice combination of stats for him at this point of the game. It does seem like SAG wanting to maybe hammer down on the TA BKB timing a little bit more with this. So, you know, TA will have BKB Aegis, the Terrorblade will have his Manta and his Halberd, and then maybe they can go and try and invade the enemy side of the map a little bit.
Vici, it looks like they're just going to work towards getting that Satanic up on Eurus now.
Has Nimbus even been cast yet?
No. Not once.
like I was at least even looking for like a farming Nimbus, like push out the wave or something. But
I don't know if they did that, but OP gonna get caught out here by Eurus. He does have his team behind him. Nice Hurricane Pike from God King. Will allow him to get away, and now a nice stun out from that dominated creep. Red Panda will make a bit of a run for it here, but they definitely have turn potential. Here is the Ember jumping in as well, but he's been pounced up. He'll use and survive. Red Panda falling very low on that borrowed time is already gone. Do they want to fight this? That Rolling Thunder is making it very hard to get in. God King, though, did pop the meta. But it seems as though once the Abaddon's gone, they are unwilling to do the fight. But Eurus, he's not done yet. Or maybe he is, because that Sentry Ward did reveal him. He will have to go into that Shadow Dance now. Hitting away onto God King with the Inkswell, getting the stun off. SAG, I believe they have had enough.
A bit of an awkwardly timed meta. It's just going to get kited out, and that is going to probably mean the end of the Aegis as well, since it only has 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. So that play that SAG were kind of looking for does end up being thwarted by Vici. And yours is still kind of on the hunt, but
Won't get anyone.
no. He does have so he's got the Satanic queued up. I don't know. I kind of like maybe the Basher a little bit more, but maybe he just wants the security of feeling like he's not going to get popped, that kind of a thing.
That's fair.
It's a little weird to me. This is the carry build of the day. Everybody just goes S&Y Satanic and absorbs all the stuns, but I don't know if you really need it on Slark. You've got a lot of healing already. You've also got you've already got Dark Pact to deal with stuns. So
right.
I'm not so sure. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely so.
And he hasn't committed to anything just yet, so still has time to make up his mind.
Oh man, they got that the Alpha Wolf up for God King now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're just gonna let it follow him, and he's gonna be hitting like an absolute truck. Mid lane, Red Panda baiting. Will get caught out by that pounce. Does have the borrowed time though, and that will pop as well. Here comes DD, blinking in. Goes Scepter out from PYW, will keep him safe, as well as the disarm out onto the TA. That was a BKB being committed.
Oh no, they're Greater Fairy Fire!
Oh no.
Uh...
Oh, that's lost. Eurus will take it for himself and just take it back to the fountain. They still want to fight. They know the BKB's down on that TA now. Felix commits the Yules onto the Slark. Lifted up, however, by PYW, and now the Nimbus does come in. That Ember is definitely dead. God King needs 3 seconds for that Metamorphosis. He'll chase down PYW. Does get that kill. Now the meta's up. He'll turn around onto Yang, who is rolling away. But Felix has brought back and wants to get that chains off in just a second. Can he get there? He can. He does get the chains. Eurus is waiting to see if he can turn, but he can't. It'll be a 2-for-1 trade and a buyback being committed by SAG. But SAG, they are going to try and push down that tier 2 mid tower.
They're just going to go for it. They're all together. I mean, Slark's showing top, kind of pressuring there a little bit, but it does seem like they have made the decision to kind of never fight into the meta. And actually, so meta's down for 110. Roshan is at least 100, is at least a minute and a bit away, so should be okay. Maybe there's a little window for Vici in here.
It's getting scary though, I gotta say. Like, we've seen this so many times where that net worth just keeps slowly trickling up for SAG, and the next thing you know, you look back at it and they've got a 15k net worth lead, if you're not too careful.
Yeah, we really need one of these Rolling Thunders from Yang to actually be connecting on course. They've been really good with the preemptive, Ghost Scepters from PYW, and this Halberd has been super useful. But they've just had a hard time getting the lockdown on the TB or the TA. Is Zero still... Okay, still got the Satanic queued up, but he still hasn't bought any components. He has found himself a Paladin Sword, which is definitely very nice.
Yeah. Feels very good. So, he may switch out the Satanic soon. He may feel like it's not necessary with that Paladin Sword, but We'll see. Vici trying to... Well, actually, Eurus. A Shadow Blade. He does bottle up the bounty rune and gets away with it. Bit of a dangerous scenario there for him if they'd popped any form of detection.
I mean, there's really nothing that's going to disable him long enough that he won't be able to get the Shadow Dance off, so...
True.
I don't think it's the end of the world, but he does need to... Okay, alright. He's been feeling the same way, MLP. Oh, no, I don't think you want the... Please don't buy Silver Edge.
I thought he wanted Eye of Skadi.
He had it queued up for a second there, but he's bought the Silver Edge recipe.
Uh-oh.
Alright, somebody on his team has convinced him that they can silence the Abaddon and then break him, and then he'll die without the borrowed time activating.
I see, I see.
But I just don't know. I would much prefer that he would buy the Skadi or the Basher. Silver Edge is just such a... It's not really doing anything else this game. I guess you can also... I think you can break Venge's passive, and she doesn't get an illusion if she dies under the break. But like, it's such a... it's a relatively minor thing. I guess OP does have a lot of auras, so maybe that's worth it. But to me, this is a really... Well, kind of a weird item choice.
God King got the Eye of Skadi up, as well as the Halberd now, so... And he's apparently getting closer and closer to buying the full Demon Edge to get an MKB up. This is, it gets kind of ridiculous. Every time I look away from this guy and look back, he's always got another item up. Every single time. He's 22k net worth, so he's almost 10k ahead of Eurus on that Slark. And in all fairness, Eurus has been fighting a lot, so we can't use that against him. But even the TA is 6k behind the TB. They're just... And what is DD buying? Is that a Nullifier he's going for?
Yeah. Yeah, it is going to be the Nullifier here.
Okay.
So I think he's seen the masked Ghost Scepters, and he's just... There's 3 Ghost Scepters on Vici currently. So that's what that's about.
Alright, makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a reasonable response in this situation.
Is it smart of Vici to sit back and play the farm game here? Like, we're 32 minutes in, they may feel like they need to, but you made the comment earlier that it's not generally a very good idea for Vici to do that.
Yeah, I don't love this, but I think they're also worried about Roche. Alright, so they go on OP, but...
They do, but OP is perfectly fine. The river has also changed. Which, I'm still trying to figure out what all this means, but the Roshan's up. Basher is there as well, so you do get that Basher you talked about earlier on for Eurus. And looks like he's going to queue up that Satanic. No, he wants the MKB now on the Slark.
Yeah, they're both just going MKB. I don't think anyone is going... There is a Halberd on the Pangolier, so you know, it's a little bit of incentive from... And I guess there's also a Halberd on the Terrorblade, so there's incentives on both sides to get the anti-evasion item. And we'll smoke here from SAG.
They will. They do jump in. DY just gets destroyed. That Nullifier, very effective up against that Ghost Scepter. And now the Roshan. Time to get this started. Of course, the side of Vici can't let this go down without trying to put up a fight. They're going to try. Rolling Thunder is there from Yang. Although, is it going to be enough? He got held down for a second. He's going to roll out of there now. And they're not able to quite capitalize yet off that Rolling Thunder. They've got to do something, though. The Roshan's dropping. They're going to go back in with the Swashbuckle, but now it's gone. And the swap is out onto Yang. He'll just get destroyed by God King. And now here we go. Ori going to be chased down there by DD. He gets blown up as well. Now Eurus, how do you survive this? He'll Shadow Dance and just TP out of there. Oh, it just happened so quick.
I don't think you can use the Rolling Thunder like that unless you're actually going to commit to the fight. And it wasn't even that good of a Rolling Thunder. He stunned them all initially, but then didn't manage to keep the chain swap going. And now they're looking for more.
Yeah, DD blows him up. It's a buyback from Ori, but those that Pango and Grimstroke do not have buyback. How far are SAG willing to go? Not quite for the tier 4s yet. They're going to play this one safe. They'll go for the easy mid-racks and probably back off for some tier 2 towers. And that'll be it. MKB up as well for God King now, so it's just... I mean, he's 6 slotted. I guess he could still get rid of the treads.
How can they get away with this? How can they first phase Terrorblade, who's like not even necessarily meta at the moment, and just
Nice
yeah,
pop.
thanks. They just make it look easy.
They do. They really do. Eurus gonna try and chase him down. He does scout out the Terrorblade. Nah, he won't be able to break the gap. It's the #1 rule up against his team, apparently. Just ban TB every single time.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like SAG are playing. I mean, some of the heroes are a little weird, but it feels like they're playing within their comfort zone every single time, and the teams that they're coming up against are trying to go outside of their comfort zone to kind of counter it. Like, that's where we're seeing these Arc Warden picks and whatnot.
Eurus goes in onto the Abaddon. There's the break, but there's no silence to follow up, and they don't have the damage anyway. But without meta, you can't fight. Although he has that meta up in 5 seconds, but Yang with the Rolling Thunder controlling them. It's not enough, though. It's DD on the front lines, keeping them all back. They'll lose the Aegis, but now they can start the team fight. Eurus, he's been trapped up. There's a Sunder coming out from God King. The traps as well. He's been dropped. Sentry there and blown up. One hit from God King was enough. He has no buyback. Not again.
I think this game's done. So I think they're just coming. Yeah.
Oh
there you go.
no! It's. Oh goodness me! SAG.
SAG.
Congratulations to SAG. They won the grand finals 2-0, and they made it look easy. Every game we casted, or almost every game, SAG made it look like they were playing in the tier 5 scene almost. It was just... These guys are insane.
They cruised. Yeah, and they did weird stuff. They picked offlane Witch Doctor. They keep having these little swap arounds in the draft. I don't know how they keep getting away with, like... I think it really goes against conventional Dota logic that these like Abaddon and Clockwork position 5s keep working, but somehow Red Panda just consistently makes the space for God King to get the farm, and there you go.
Yeah. Could you imagine if TI was still gonna happen? Could you imagine what the Chinese close qualifiers would look like if this team was there? It's. I mean, they would really kind of knock some big teams out of there. This SAG team, and I look forward to seeing what they do in the future.
Yeah, they've just been going from strength to strength to strength. It feels like, it was a little bit of a slow start. They had the really explosive performance in that first CDA league, came back DPL CDA, didn't do so well, and now here in Beyond Epic, they've just cleaned everybody up.
That they have. Of course, that is it for us, Basskip. That was the grand final and the lower bracket finals being done today. If you enjoyed Basskip, he is on Twitter at Basskip, of course. I'm at MLP Dota if you enjoyed me. Apart from that, it's been an absolute pleasure as always, sir, and I hope to cast with you again very soon.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
Same to you. Enjoy your day and your night. We'll see you guys later.